The wooden boat lurched as water began pouring in from all sides, its creaky old planks groaning under the weight of the flood. "We're sinking!" Daphne shouted, gripping the side of the boat as the dark water rose past her ankles. "Uh-oh," Scooby whimpered, jumping into Shaggy's arms. Shaggy was already panicking. "I knew it. First, we enter a haunted tunnel, then we see a ghost clown. And now we're going to be the main attraction of Davy Jones's spooky locker." Fred immediately grabbed an oar, trying to push the boat toward the tunnel's edge. "We have to get to the platform over there." Velma, knee-deep in the water, was already analyzing the situation. "It doesn't make sense. The boat was fine before. How did it suddenly start taking in water?" "Who cares?" Shaggy yelped. "Let's just get out before we find out how deep this place really is." The ghostly clown still hovered a few feet ahead of them, his lifeless eyes locked onto the gang. He lifted the golden bell once more and rang it 3 times. The second the third chime echoed through the tunnel, the water around them exploded into motion. From beneath the surface, dozens of shadowy hands shot upward, clawing at the boat, the gang, and anything within reach. "Oh, no!" Scooby howled, scrambling onto Shaggy's shoulders. "Oh, nope, nope, nope!" Shaggy shrieked, flailing as cold fingers brushed his legs. Daphne kicked at one of the watery hands, her pulse pounding. "What are these things?" Velma, barely keeping her balance, tried to focus. "It's got to be some kind of trick." Fred gritted his teeth, using his oar to push back one of the grasping arms. "Real or not, we have to move now." With one final push, the boat crashed against the edge of the platform, and the gang leapt to safety just as the wooden vessel vanished into the depths. Panting, Velma turned back just in time to see the shadowy hands sink into the water and disappear, as if they'd never been there at all. A deep, hollow laughter echoed through the tunnel once more then. Silence. The ghost clown was gone. Shaggy collapsed onto the wooden dock, gasping for breath. "I think I aged 10 years in the last 5 minutes. Scooby plopped down next to him, still shaking. "Me too." Daphne swept her soaked hair away from her face. "Okay, that was way too close." Fred stood, glancing around the dimly lit tunnel. "Everyone okay?" Velma wrung water from her sweater, adjusting her glasses. "I'm fine. But what just happened?" Shaggy threw his arms up. "What do you mean? What just happened?" "We just got attacked by ghost hands and a floating demon clown. Case closed. Let's go home." Velma shook her head. "No, think about it. The hands only appeared after he rang the bell 3 times. What if the bell is causing all of this?" Daphne crossed her arms. "So you're saying that somehow a golden bell is controlling the flood and summoning ghosts?" Velma pushed her glasses up her nose. "I don't know yet, but I do know one thing. It's not magic. It's a trick." Fred nodded. "Then we need to figure out who's behind it." Shaggy pointed back toward the sunken boat. "We also need to figure out how we're getting out of here before whatever's in the water decides we're its next snack." Scooby whined. "Rhea, let's go." Fred looked around. "If this place is anything like the old park map showed, then the maintenance tunnels should be just ahead. Maybe Wallace Greaves is hiding there." Daphne sighed. "Great. More dark tunnels." Shaggy groaned. "And more chances for us to become Ghost Chow?" Fred took the lead, and the gang carefully made their way through the narrow passageways, their wet shoes squelching against the wooden planks. The deeper they went, the colder it became. Then suddenly, clang! A loud metallic sound echoed through the passageway. Scooby yelped and leapt into Shaggy's arms. What was that?" Fred raised his flashlight, scanning the corridor. "I don't know, but I think we're about to find out." The gang froze as the metallic clang echoed through the damp passageway. The sound bounced off the walls, making it impossible to tell where it had come from. "Raggy, I don't like this," Scooby whimpered, his ears twitching. Shaggy, still holding on to Scooby like a life raft, gulped. "Me neither, buddy. Me neither." Fred tightened his grip on the flashlight, scanning the narrow wooden tunnel ahead. The maintenance area was dark, lined with rusted pipes, and decades-old electrical wiring. Water dripped from the ceiling, making the wooden planks beneath them slick and unstable. "Keep moving, guys. If Wallace Greaves is down here, we need to find him." Daphne groaned. "And if he's not?" Shaggy answered immediately. "Then I say we take that as a sign from the universe that it's time to leave." Velma ignored him, adjusting her glasses as she knelt beside a broken control panel. "These wires are still connected to the park's old system. Someone's been messing with them." Fred leaned over. "Could they be controlling the ghost effects?" Velma frowned. "Maybe. But there's something weird. The power grid here should have completely shorted out when the flood hit. It shouldn't even be possible to turn anything on." "So what you're saying is, this place is extra cursed?" Shaggy shuddered. Before Velma could answer, another clanging noise rang out, this time closer. A shadow moved at the far end of the tunnel. Daphne gasped. "Did you see that?" Fred aimed his flashlight, catching a glimpse of a dark figure vanishing into a side passage. "Someone's here. After them." Scooby's eyes widened. "Rhea, after them. Wait. What?" Before anyone could argue, Fred had already sprinted forward. The others reluctantly followed, their footsteps echoing against the damp wood. They turned a corner and entered a small, dimly lit room filled with old amusement park blueprints, rusted tools, and a few half-empty lanterns. And right in the center of the room, surrounded by scattered papers, was a golden bell. The same bell the ghost clown had rung. Velma cautiously approached. "It's the same one." Daphne shuddered. "Don't touch it." Shaggy took 5 steps back. "I second that." Fred frowned, kneeling beside the table. "But if this bell is part of the trick, we need to figure out how it works." Just as he reached out to examine it, the bell rang by itself. Dong! A deep, haunting chime filled the room. Dong! The temperature dropped instantly. The air turned thick, heavy. Dong! From the darkness behind them, a figure emerged. The ghost clown. Scooby's fur bristled. Raggy. The clown's hollow eyes locked onto the gang, his smeared white face even more unsettling in the dim light. Slowly, he raised one arm, pointing directly at them. And then, in a voice that echoed like a deep, distorted whisper, he spoke. "The park is mine, forever." Shaggy screamed. "See? This is why you don't touch the cursed bell." Fred grabbed the bell and shook it violently. "If this thing is controlling the ghost, maybe we can—" The ghost lunged forward. Daphne grabbed Fred's arm, pulling him back just in time. "Forget that. Run." The gang bolted out of the room, Scooby and Shaggy leading the charge. Behind them, the clown's horrific laughter echoed through the tunnels. As they ran, Velma called out, "We need to get to higher ground." Fred nodded, pointing toward a rusted maintenance ladder leading to the surface. "Up there." One by one, they scrambled up the ladder, Scooby climbing faster than anyone had ever seen. Just as Fred reached the top and slammed the hatch shut, the laughter stopped. Silence. Nothing. The gang panted, catching their breath. Is it gone?" Daphne asked, voice trembling. Velma shook her head. It's still here." Shaggy flopped onto the ground, exhausted. "Fantastic. So we're trapped in a flooded park with a ghost clown that has a thing for creepy bells. What's next?" Right on cue, a distant Ferris wheel began to turn on its own. And from the shadows, a pair of glowing red eyes flickered to life. Scooby gulped. "Our rut row."
Creeping through the haunted halls, footsteps echo, shadows crawl. Scooby's trembling knees are weak, but a Scooby snack will do the trick. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Monsters, ghosts, and clues to pursue. Joints and chickies, what will we do? Stick with the gang, we'll pull it through.